Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone! So we are here to identify the elements of the journal called In Understanding the Impact of Human Capital on Radical Incremental Innovation, the Role of Entrepreneurial Passion and Alertness. My name is Marizaki Nurupeta Durarko and you can call me with Pita.
And my name is Madala Santi, you can call me Ayas.
My name is Dia Rusni Fidausi, you can call me Restu.
My name is Mutiara Zaristikoma, you can call me Tiara.
My name is Maya Raida Latifa, you can call me Maya.
Hi everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Maya Raida Latifa. So now, I will explain the structure of an abstract in a journal. Jadi, saya akan menjelaskan abstrak pada sebuah jurnal. The abstract is an essential part of research article because it provides a brief summary of the study, helping readers understand key points before reading the full paper. Jadi, abstrak ini pada artikel penelitian atau pada sebuah jurnal itu merupakan bagian penting karena abstrak ini memberikan ringkasan singkat dari studi yang dilakukan. Jadi, para pembaca itu dapat memahami poin-poin utama sebelum membaca keseluruhan pada isi jurnal. A well-structured abstract typically consists of the following elements. Jadi, ini saya akan menjelaskan beberapa elemen-elemen atau struktur pada abstrak. First is background. Some abstracts begin with one or two sentences that provide context or background for the study. Jadi beberapa abstrak itu diawali dengan satu atau dua kalimat yang memberikan konteks atau latar belakang penelitian. The example of background in the first journal is innovation plays a crucial role in a nation's economic development. However, there is still a research gap regarding the role of human capital in fostering radical and incremental innovation. The second structure in the abstract is research objective. This section explains the primary objective of the research. Jadi bagian research objective ini menjelaskan tujuan utama dari penelitian. The example is, this study aims to understand the impact of human capital on radical and incremental innovation, while also examining the mediating role of entrepreneurial passion and entrepreneurial alertness. The third structure is methodology. This part describes how the research was conducted, including data collection methods, sample size, and data analysis techniques. Jadi pada bagian metodologi ini menjelaskan bagaimana penelitian dilakukan, termasuk metode pengumpulan data, ukuran sampel, dan teknik analisis data. The fourth structure in the abstract, namely findings, summaries the key results of the study. Jadi findings ini merangkum hasil utama dari penelitian. The example is, the results revealed that human capital significantly influences both radical and incremental innovation. Additionally, entrepreneurial passion and alertness were found to mediate the relationship between human capital and innovation. The fifth structure in the abstract, namely research contribution. So this section explains how the study contributes to the field and why it is important. Jadi bagian research contribution ini menjelaskan bagaimana penelitian ini berkontribusi terhadap bidang ilmu dan mengapa penelitian ini penting. The example, this study contributes to the literature on innovation and entrepreneurship by highlighting the importance of human capital in Pakistan, a topic that has been rarely explored. And then, the sixth structure in the abstract, namely keywords. At the end of the abstract, research include 3 to 6 keywords to make the article easier to find in academic databases. Jadi, pada bagian terakhir abstrak itu ada keywords atau kata kunci supaya artikel ini lebih mudah ditemukan dalam database akademik. Some examples of keywords in this journal are human capital, radical innovation, incremental innovation, entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial passion, entrepreneurial alertness. So that's the structure of the abstract in the journal. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Dia Resni Firdausi, and now I want to explain the element of the journal with title Understanding the Impact of Human Capital on Radical and Incremental Innovation, the Role of Entrepreneurial Passion and Alertness. So I want to explain what's the structure or main point, the journal of introduction. So the first is background of research. This is about provides a general context about the importance of innovation and human capital for companies. Jadi, latar belakang dari penelitian di introduction ini adalah memberikan konteks umum tentang pentingnya inovasi dan modal manusia bagi perusahaan. And then focus on innovation and human capital is highlights the impact of human capital on incremental and radical innovation. The next is economics and entrepreneurial context. This is about discuss the entrepreneurial landscape in a specific country or region, including factors that hinder or support business growth. Jadi, konteks dari kewirausahaan ini membahas tentang kewirausahaan di suatu negara atau wilayah, termasuk faktor-faktor yang menghambat atau mendukung pertumbuhan perusahaan. So the next is ranking and development. Mention a country's innovation ranking in global indices and discusses a human capital development. Significance of entrepreneurship emphasizes the importance of entrepreneurship in driving economic growth and innovation. Untuk signifikan kewirausahaan itu menekankan pentingnya kewirausahaan dalam meningkatkan ekonomi dan inovasi. The next is about research focus. This is explain the research focus on the impact of human capital on various types of innovation, considering mediating factors such as entrepreneurial, passion, and alertness. Untuk fokus penelitian ini menjelaskan pada dampak modal manusia pada berbagai jenis inovasi dengan mempertimbangkan faktor-faktor mediasi seperti semangat dan kewaspadaan kewirausahaan. The next is theoretical and practical significance. This is about explain how the study contributes to exciting literature and its practical implication for managers and policymakers. And the last one is study structure. This is outlines how the research is organized, including main sessions such as literature review, methodology, results, and conclusion. So the main point of this introduction of the element is looking at entrepreneurial landscape in the context of Pakistan. Several political and economic factors have been obstructing the growth of the entrepreneurial firms in the country. These factors include political instability, design legal framework, bank loans and grants, and the red tape filled bureaucracy. Jadi poin utama dari elemen introduction di jurnal ini adalah melihat lanskap kewirausahaan dalam konteks Pakistan. Beberapa faktor politik dan ekonomi telah menghambat pertumbuhan perusahaan kewirausahaan di negara tersebut. Faktor-faktor tersebut meliputi ketidakstabilan politik, kerangka hukum yang kurang memadai, pinjaman bank dan hibah, serta birokrasi yang penuh dengan birokrasi lainnya.
For the next element, literature review. 1. Human capital theory. This explains investing in skills and knowledge helps business grow and innovate. Second, human capital and radical innovation. Skilled people create completely new products and services. Third, human capital and incremental innovation. This explains experience and training improve existing products and services. Fourth, entrepreneurial passion or mediator. Passion for business makes human skills more useful for innovation. And the last one, there's entrepreneurial alertness or mediator. Awareness of opportunities helps people turn skills into innovation. So that's it from me.
Hi, my name is Mutiara Azara Istiqomah. I will talk about the discussion. The first one, authors usually start by summarizing the main findings of the research. Ini membantu pembaca untuk mengingat kembali hasil yang telah dibahas sebelumnya dalam bagian hasil. Penulis merangkum 6 temuan utama dari penelitian, including the impact of human capital on radical and incremental innovation and the mediating role of entrepreneurial passion and vigilance. The second is interpretation of findings. The author interprets the results of the study in the context of the existing literature. This includes comparing the findings with previous studies, explaining why the results are important and how they contribute to the field of research. Third, theoretical implications. This section discusses how the research findings contribute to existing theory. Authors can explain how their research fills a gap in the literature or provides a new perspective. Penulis membahas bagaimana penelitian mereka memperluas teori modal manusia dengan memasukkan passion dan kewaspadaan kewirausahaan sebagai mediator. Practical implications. The author explains how the research findings can be applied in practice. This could include recommendations for practitioners, managers, investors, and policymakers, including the importance of training and awareness program improve human capital. Research limitations. Author acknowledge the limitations of their study. This could include methodological issues, sample limitation, or other factors that might have influenced the results. For future research. Authors provide suggestions for future research. This could include unexplored areas, methods that could be used, or unanswered research questions. Kesimpulan bagian diskusi biasanya diakhiri dengan kesimpulan singkat yang merangkum poin-poin utama dan menekankan pentingnya penelitian. The authors conclude by emphasizing the importance of their research and its contribution to literature and practice. Dengan mengikuti struktur ini, penulis dapat memastikan bahwa bagian diskusi mereka komprehensif, terorganisir, dan memberikan kontribusi yang berarti bagi bidang penelitian mereka.
Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Madela Arsati. You can call me Ayes. So, di dalam video ini aku bakal jelasin apa sih itu metodologi in a scientific journal dan apa aja sih yang harus kita tulis di dalam elemen metodologi ini. Nah, in a scientific journal, the methodology section typical follow a structured format to ensure transparency and responsibility. Jadi kayak di bagian metode atau metodologi ini itu tuh memiliki struktur yang mencakup beberapa elemen atau beberapa hal penting. Berdasarkan jurnal yang pertama, itu tuh bagian metodologi mencakup the method section include the following key responses. Yang pertama, the first research method and procedure, dimana di sini tuh mendeskripsikan the proposed sampling strategy, selection of respondents relevant to the study, and data collection period. Di dalam jurnal ini itu tuh dari April ke Agustus 2022. Second, itu tuh ada validation of research instrument, dimana di sini the measurement instrument was reviewed by industry professional and academic expert to ensure content validity and reliability. Maaf ya guys, I'm so sorry. Ensure content validity and reliability. Di sini tuh instrumen pengukuran konsultasikan dengan pakar industri dan akademisi untuk memastikan isi konten itu tuh sudah sesuai atau belum. Terus yang ketiga itu ada data collection and processing. Yang keempat ada data analysis step. From the point, the method selection is a journal, so typical include source design, sampling method, data collection procedure, instrument validation, and data analysis techniques. Nah, dari poin-poin yang sudah aku sebutin tadi, bagian metode dalam jurnal itu tuh harus mencakup desain penelitian, metode pengambilan sampel, prosedur pengumpulan data, validasi instrumen, serta teknik analisis data. Di mana struktur ini membantu untuk memastikan transparansi dan Di sini struktur ini tuh membantu memastikan transparansi dan replikasi dalam penelitian ilmiah. In English, the structure ensure clarity and allow others researchers to replicate the study. Oke, sekian dari saya. Terima kasih. Thank you guys. Bye.
Hello, my name is Marisa Kinurlu Pitagororko. So I want to explain about the element, results, and data analysis strategy in the journal called Understanding the Impact of Human Capital on Radical and Incremental Innovation, the Role of Entrepreneurial Passion and Alertness. So this element explains how the data was analyzed using special software and different statistical techniques. Here's a breakdown. For the first, there's statistical analysis. Data was analyzed using SPSS 21.0 and AMOS 24.0 for SEM. And the second, factor analysis and model component analysis, model fit testing, and path analysis were conducted. And the third, there's reliability and validity testing. For the fourth, there's convergent validity. And the fifth, model fit indicators. And the sixth, the last one, is mediation testing. Serial relationships were tested to confirm mediation significance. So, in conclusion, data analysis used SEM reliability, validity, and mediation tests with relevant statistical indicators.
So that's our explanation about the elements of the journal.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.